thank God for the payment. That's a solid foundation. When I finally make it, I give God all the praises. G.O.D. who conquered evil forces. I don't trust in chariots or fortresses. Yeah, I walk by faith. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Game time in it. Game time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Game time. Run it up. 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 Run it up.
Better, petty, don't matter. Far as the teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, get about my face, wearing that monkey. Not that, that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money. It's the paper power.
Welcome to week 1 of the NFL preseason, where the rookies of today hope to become the stars of tomorrow. It's the Rams and the Broncos. Next on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Denver Broncos. Charles Davis alongside me, and I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, the wait is over. Yes, it's just the preseason, but football is back in your living room.
And I'm excited. I know you are as well. The summer heat feels good on these old bones, especially because we're not putting on pads. We don't have to be out there in that heat running into other people. But I'm glad these guys are. Football is back.
From Denver. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
A seasoned veteran. We're seeing more chapters being added in Stafford's decorated career. Secured a Super Bowl ring, remains a respected leader, and his stats, they're better than ever. Now we just continue to watch him climb the ranks of the NFL's all-time passing leaders.
Ready.
They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And some room to roam now. There he goes left side. And all the way down to the 9. A big play there on the first play of the game. 66 yards. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a good play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time,
touchdown! Tyler Higbee, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go to the big strikes.
They begin the drive with Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Charles already trailing that touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
From the gun, it's a fumble. And the Rams have got it back.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. And maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this will remain a one-touchdown game.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it. And if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. On second down, Williams trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On third down, Wilson. And it's caught by Hooper. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 19. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson taking it in from the 20. And the Broncos are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. So a design run all the way. Let's look at the distance. I don't know the angles on that thing.
On this play, how about the vision of it? Being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. But on that play, they held up quite well.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Stafford. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Stafford gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. He was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Now he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Ball start.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Going right back to Akers. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 75 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Taco Charlton in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
On is the punter long here as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. The Broncos on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Here's Ty Long now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 43.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Try to find Greg Dulcich there.
And that'll bring up second down.
Let's go now.
Now back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through the completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And this is taken in by the tight end, Bryson Hopkins.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. Back to throw again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Aaron Browning, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He's going to keep this again.
There he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. It's their quarterback. 60 yards.
And the Broncos have moved out in front.
That touchdown, Charles, the first rushing TD of his rookie year.
I don't know that he's going to be Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson or Josh Allen at this stage of his career, but he's got youth on his side. Those young legs, he put them to good use there, didn't he?
This time, the extra point up and good. That'll make this a 6-point game. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
L.A. readies for its next possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get into him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker, maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
Open man is Newsom. He's got it.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Well, that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Aaron Browning.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Denver's offense now set to go. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but We know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
Yeah, we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. They'll look to throw here. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. Flushed out right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there. Excellent. Because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. L.A. set to take over again on offense. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. This one swung out to Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Ty Long now to punt this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Going up top for Miller. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Most of the starters are likely done. These coaching staffs getting ready to evaluate the youngsters in the second half. And to call the remainder of this preseason opener, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Benson. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Wright's got it.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Eli Apple. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
So that potentially a turning point here this third quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Parkey adds the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Now Mostert off the read option. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 11 more on that one and another first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. That's taken in by Dulcich. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 32-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finding Williams on the check down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Hopkins. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. Here's Ty Long now as he's on the punt for L.A. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver's offense ready to go again. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Back to throw now on 1st down. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football, all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Excellent job by the keeper, 20 yards and a first down. They'll drop to throw. And this is taken in by Hamler for a Bronco touchdown. From 21 yards away, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talked a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first...
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, L.A. A great effort there. 75 yards. And the Rams are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Working with 2nd and 5 now. On play action, they'll throw. They're going right back to Hamler. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Open man here is Benson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. On 2nd down, Mostert. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They're going to look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll set up to throw. That pass taken in by Newsom. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Complete to Newsom. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Steps away. And that is incomplete.
Understanding he's just down 1 possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
And that is no good. And they'll remain down by 2. So make it 2 missed field goals for him now, but I have the sense, given that distance, you can probably forgive him here on this one.
Yeah, this is out of the range of just about anybody on planet Earth except probably you, partner. But you just got to drive it out low and hope that somehow you hit it absolutely perfect. But no real chance for this one to go through.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They certainly caught a big break with that missed field goal. Instead of trailing, they hold on to that slim lead, and now we'll see how they play this critical 4th quarter possession. That's complete to his receiver, Benson. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a quarterback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
He'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable. On 4th, and the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Open man is Newsome. He's got it. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 4. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
So I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And the catch made by Hopkins.
And he is going to have a Rams first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
They'll look to throw again. Eluding the pressure right.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
And next time, Brandon, I think you might want to consider running it because those defensive backs, they were plastered to the receivers, and they weren't letting up as that play went on.
Back to throw again. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And coming out now, the Broncos.
They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim 4th quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They run with Mostert off the option.
Holding. Offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Now Mostert off the read option.
And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
Now the Rams offense getting the football back. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game.
And that flag accepted.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, and in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble, and they did. Took it the other way for a score, and now if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle perhaps to win this ball game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos now down by 5. A minute 47 on the clock. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Holding. Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack, now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
Well, remember now, no overtime in the preseason, but where the score is at now, overtime would be unlikely. If these guys can put it in the end zone here, they'd be looking pretty good.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking for right, and he finds him.
And he is going to have a Broncos 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Pass the... Oh, no, he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.